But think of all the technology that's required to get Alexa to turn the lights off. Alexa, turn the lights off. Alexa wakes up, speech sent through the router, out across the internet, arrives at the data center. It needs to be translated into text. The text needs to be translated into code. The response decided, response turned into text, back into speech, back across the internet. Alexa tells you it's turning the lights out, and the response code is communicated to the lights, and the lights are turned out. You know, imagine if you just got up off your bum and turned the bloody lights off. It would be much better for the planet, much better for yourself, because what happens to energy within our body that we don't use? This is the technology behind EXA, a massive, massive technological infrastructure that consumes huge quantities of energy and device and raw materials. I used to think that in all this web stuff, that I had found the Holy Grail. I said, it's not about you. You're not designing for yourself. First rule is don't design. You are not the user. Don't design for yourself. And then I thought I'd figured out, I said, well, don't design for the organization either. Don't be organization centric. And I spent 20 years essentially presenting and saying that it's all about the customer. It's all about the user, user-centric design, etc. And I thought that was where it was at. And only in the last couple of years have I realized that there's something outside designing for convenience. There's something outside designing for making it easier for use. There's a society out there, and beyond that society, there is the earth. And we are doing extraordinary damage, as we know, to the earth over the last 40 or 50 years. And technology, I have discovered, is a key driver. Technology accelerates our capacity to damage and to waste the earth. And we need to radically revisit how we use technology if we are to truly address global warming. So, not having me as the focus, not having the organization as the focus, having the user at the top of the pyramid. But let's say if we change the user experience model, which has many, many benefits, and we put it this way, still the user, still the customer is important, but at the very top, taking up far more the space as it should is the earth. So we design, when we make decisions, we don't just ask what's in it for me as a designer in my portfolio, what's in it for the org, what's in it for the user, but how does it impact the earth? What is the earth experience here? What are we doing to the earth in the designs that we're actually creating? This is a scrapyard in Ghana where 10,000 of the poorest people work in the greatest e-waste recycling factory on earth. This is e-waste recycling. What do rich countries do? They say, oh, our air is clean. Yeah, our air is clean in Norway and in Ireland and the United States because we outsource the dirt. We outsource the waste to poorer countries. We go to countries, we take their raw materials to build our smartphones, and when the smartphones are finished, we conveniently send them back in big containers to these countries where they are recycled, as we call them. So there's two engines of waste that technology is driving: the waste itself, but also the data pollution. We're into zettabytes of data now, unbelievable quantities of data. 1 zettabyte, to print out 1 zettabyte would take something like 20 trillion trees. There are only 3 trillion trees on the planet. So we are creating these massive quantities of data, and 90% of it is never used. 3 months after it's created, it's never used. We are extraordinarily wasteful when it comes to digital. So how do we change that behavior so we stop destroying the planet simply for waste in the process?